Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Out of Context podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. Hopefully, it all makes sense in the end. I am one of the hosts of the show, Walker AC, and introducing my dear co-host, the one who gets on me every single time. That I'm not going to use the same drab introduction I'm saving for the Walker AC experience. Welcome with a mouthful of food, Ashley Majestic. Ashley, how are you? Or Ash Majestics, as your new moniker is.
Oh, my friends. And yes, you are my friends. I am doing great, and I was fully prepared to do that since, yesterday. But, yeah, things are good. I'm eating, like, an oatmeal bar because I want to snack on something. And, yeah, I'm just here. I'm vibing. I'm living.
Yes, always glad to have you back on for another worthwhile show. And of course, you heard the giggling in the background. It's very rare because she is a homicidal, genocidal, maniac, just regional killer. Our resident rabbit raccoon, Becky. How are you, Becky?
I am doing very well. How are you doing today, my good sir?
Doing very well. Afraid of you as always. And also a congratulations on your new future purchase of your laptop.
No, because my associate discount is available for this, so I am not doing it. No. Oh, shit.
Did you hit process?
Yes, and I didn't mean to.
Yep, she bought it.
Oh, shit.
She bought the laptop. Too late.
No.
Against the wishes of her significant other.
No, my credit card, my debit card is going to go in the negative. No.
Well, so much for that. Enjoy your brand new laptop, and the missus will kill you for it later.
No. But besides this, we have someone that's guest starring again because we saw her in the corner where she belongs.
No one puts Sarah in a corner.
You're gonna hear her. Sarah. Come. There you go, people. That's Sarah. Is anyone surprised? No. So she's doing something. She's doing something that's Sarah somewhere in the background, but she's gonna come sit down. She's gonna join us because why not? And we have nothing planned, so even better.
I thought we had something planned, but I guess we're not going to do that because you totally...
We can, but...
I thought you had something planned.
I did, but of course,
What was your plan?
I've been outvoted as always. It's no problem.
We can do the plan.
What was the plan?
Well, the original topic was... Oh, please, by all means, jump on in here.
Introduce the topic. I'm jumping over you because you're starting it off the wrong way. Well, the original topic, you're going to begin this as today's topic that we're starting with.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Is my turn to talk now? Okay, sweet.
Wait, no. So anyway.
She's cracking herself up over there. Today's topic is, what was the catalyst? What certain event in your life that made you become very antisocial? The reason why I asked that is because we here on this podcast, we're not really a big fan of people. It's widely known, and we make no bones about it. So, but there has to have been something that just caused that. So I'm going to go around the room, and I will start with my loving co-host, and give her a try at it.
Well, I sound like a broken record saying this, but my dad's death. That I want to say I was antisocial, but I wasn't social either. But I was more willing to go out and do things and be around people and had a different, perspective and attitude towards things. I wouldn't say super positive, but I was just like, okay, I was fine. And my dad passed away, and when he passed away, again, broken record, didn't really have to, but kind of dealt with it by myself. I saw how other people that had knew my dad way before, even since before I was born, all these people that my dad I've seen over the years has helped, that he would take the shirt off his back for, that he's done everything, that they couldn't be bothered to drive 45 minutes to go to his memorial service that I made. Um, but then I would see on their Facebooks or something that they're at the beach or they're doing something else. So that was a whole other thing for me was it's not like it was short notice. I gave people about 2 weeks heads up, like, hey, this is going to be the day, this is going to happen, this is where it's going to be at. And then last minute people were dropping out and not doing it, but then I would see what they're like they would, it's like, at least don't post anything. Pretend that you called off sick off work and don't post anything on social media. So that was a whole other thing. And these were like relatives, people my dad had worked for years, all of this stuff. And then just other things that calculated this, the treatment my dad received by hospice, and I am gonna fucking say it, but the treatment he got from some of these people, where my mom was dead tired, and she was very distraught, and she's explaining something about my dad to the next nurse that was coming in for the shift, and that nurse, in the middle of my mom talking, like just looked over at the other nurse and said, hey, do you have a phone charger? My phone's almost dead. So situations that happened during the process of my dad, like when he was dying, to when he died, to after he died, and several months going on, to outside people, but that was basically the main catalyst, was I stopped believing in good people. There are people that can do good things, but I don't believe in good people. I don't believe that people do things out of their hearts, like by pure intention. I truly believe like there's some kind of motivation in it in the long run, that you just don't want to be alone, and that's why you want a friend. It's gonna get you're great at work because you're gonna get promoted. There's something, and then anytime when someone no longer gives you any convenience, that's it. You're out. You're done. So that's my outlook. I can basically say customer service too. That's a whole other thing. But when my dad died and I saw how alone I was, especially the first 6 months, I was like, that was my turning point of I became a different person. There's a thing of when you're a child, when you become a teenager, you're no longer that child. When you're a teenager, you start becoming a young adult to adult, and you go through these different phases. No, it was like, I can see my personality. There's things I matured with, such as that, but my outlook and believing in people and all of that, gone. So far gone. If someone put a button in front of me saying, if you press this, the entire planet's going to blow up, and that's it. Boom, done. Existence is over. No hesitation. That's why I do things when I want. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. I don't care if it's going to make someone feel bad, if they're going to be upset, pissed, whatever. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to try to be a people pleaser. I don't want to go out and be around people and be surrounded by fake people. I don't like doing that. So I like talking to the same people, and that's about it.
Now, I was always told for many years you can count your friends on one hand. And when I was younger, I never really believed that. And then, of course, when you get older, you get a little bit wiser. That pretty much is the truth. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll hand it over to Becky. If you're ready, we can go to you.
I've never liked people, like, at all. It was hard for me to even be social on chat rooms and stuff. So for me, I've always been antisocial. For me, one of the biggest things was when I was a teenager and my stepdad left and my life imploded on me. I lost contact with a lot of people. That's kind of when Ashley and I got a little distant around that time too. Was especially in between like my moves and stuff. Like we would still talk, but we weren't as close as we are now, or as close as we were in the beginning. And I learned pretty much just to rely on myself, because it was just a lot of trauma and shit and stupid stuff. But, I mean, for me, it's just always been, I don't like people. I hate people. I think the world is a bunch of rabid wolves who are fighting over meat that's large enough to feed everybody, but they just want it for themselves. So, like, fuck everyone. So for me to call people my friends, it's very far and few in between. And I think the one thing that kind of helped me become more social was talking to Ashley again and her getting me on this podcast and her and I becoming close and everything. Like, I would let the world burn for only 3 people in my life, and Ashley's one of them, and the other 2 is my mom, my wife. Everybody else, if you can save yourselves, save yourselves.
Adrian, she's gonna come after you first. She's not even gonna have that mentality. She's just like, apocalypse, I'm going to find Adrian.
I'm gonna be like, give me that leg. I'm biting.
Yeah, it's always comes back to me for whatever reason. It's a bizarre thing.
It's gonna be the left leg too. I'm gonna specifically go after the left leg.
Why the left leg?
Because you're a lefty.
The left leg is because the blood flows from the left side of the body to the right, so it's the farthest one.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. If I see this, if I see this foaming young lady running to my door, then I know what's going to happen. So,
speaking from experience, Becky is really good at sneaking up on you and attacking. She's done that to me twice.
Wonderful.
You'll never
one
see it
time
coming.
at the airport, and the other time I forgot where. But yeah, she's really good at sneaking on you. She's very good at blending in. So yeah, good luck with that.
Wonderful. So let me run away from
You
this.
won't
No
even
pun
see
intended.
me coming.
No, that's the thing. It's like I was like hiding myself. I was hiding, looking for her to prepare myself to attack, and she fucking attacks me.
Well, I mean,
I still know how she did that shit.
I'm definitely going to have the bear mace ready. So our special guest into the room, Sarah from the podcast Cerberus. So we're going to ask Miss Bradley here, what was her catalyst for being antisocial? Now, actually, before I ask her, I mean, she is a very friendly person, and everybody will always approach her, complimenting her hair, her demeanor, what she's wearing, stuff like that. So, I mean, her answer may be a little bit different, but we shall see.
And
So-
that ass.
What?
Badass.
That ass.
Dad, yes.
Immediately goes to have Sarah talk, and he gets on his phone.
Yes. But nah, that ass. But no, I have kind of a different outlook on people. I view people in 2 different categories. People that I give a shit about and people that I don't. And I have a very big heart. I can be social when I need to be, and I have my people persona, and then I have my true self that is a little bit more subdued to a degree when it comes to people. Not if you're one of my people that I like. Obviously, if you're one of the people that I like, I'm sorry, you're stuck with me, and I'm a fucking crazy person. So like, you are fucked. But I was always really, really, really shy growing up. And a lot of it has to do with my upbringing, and especially with the abuse in my upbringing, which I've talked about before. Like doing anything that is out of hand, I would get beat for it. Doing anything that wasn't acceptable, I would get beat. So I never really truly was able to connect with people on a specific level unless it was someone that was allowed or safe. So I was bullied really, really heavily all through school until 9th grade. And in 9th grade, I hit high school, and people saw how big my brother was. And as tall as I am, because I'm kind of an Amazon woman, like I'm only 5'6", not 6'5", 5'6", but like that's taller than most of the females that I know. and I'm wide and I'm heavier, and so I feel like an Amazon woman with so many people, but I only come up to my brother's shoulder, like just below my brother's shoulder. He is humongous. If I stand behind him, you don't see me. He was on his way to a football career until he got really badly hurt in high school. Like, he's a big dude. So when people saw who my brother was, they stopped being horribly mean to me because they knew that this giant of a man was going to beat the shit out of him. And even after that, people kind of realized I was somewhat cool. But if you're going to pinpoint the first thing that made me really lose faith in people, when I was young, my family was very, very much in Southern Baptist. I was raised Southern Baptist. For those of you that don't know, Southern Baptist is very different from Baptist. Southern Baptist is almost as extreme as you can get before you get into like Lutheranism and like all of that. Like there's, Father, Son, Holy Ghost and things like that. But if you don't follow their way, you're going to hell. You're the devil. If you aren't exactly what the pastor says you are, you're the devil, you're going to hell. You believe in evolution, you're going to hell. You step out of line, any of that. So with that being said, my father was a deacon in the church and he was a treasurer for the church. And he managed to get a bonus one year, and our tithe for the church, because we do believe in tithe, I believe it was 30% of everything that you earn in a year, was expected to go into the church. Well, we had recently changed pastors, and our very beloved pastor had left due to a lot of different things. But a new pastor had come from a big city, and mind you, this is such a small, teeny tiny town that where I lived isn't on most maps. The town that the church is in is on some maps. It's called Whitesboro in Texas. And so essentially what had happened was we donated a few computers. This is in the 90s, guys. So, but some computers to, I think 3 of them, to the church as our tithe for the year, because my father got a really good bonus. Well, around about that exact same time, a big city pastor guy took the youth on a trip, and they got stuck in a town overnight, and they ended up staying in a hotel. Well, what happened was, big city pastor lost the receipt for the hotel stay for the youth trip, and the entire church went after my father because he was the treasurer. He didn't know where the money was. He didn't know what happened. The pastor didn't say anything to anyone about it. And it was assumed that it was accounted for. So the church went after my family for the money, thinking that it was what was used to buy the computers. And therefore our tithe was null and void, which isn't the case. So what they did, because my dad was the treasurer, they literally, it's almost like excommunicating. Like, they kicked him out of the church. They only kept us in the church because we were very poor, and also my mom was one of the Sunday school teachers, which my dad was too, but they made him a scapegoat, kicked him out of the church, and then treated us kind of badly for the rest of the time. Come to find out, like a month or two later, that the big city pastor is the one that did it, and he found the receipt, and nobody ever apologized, anything. And the beautiful part of it is the person that's like headed the mob that went like after my dad was a police officer that we trusted. So that was my first experience with an actual police officer too. So, but I think that would be the first real like faith in humanity lost thing that ever happened to me. But at the same time, I've always been kind of anti-people. I've never really liked people. I pick people I like, and that's about it. So, but that's probably the first thing. There are many other things through the years, but that for me is probably the first thing.
So, real quick, going back to your height thing, if you're an Amazon woman, Ashley and I are giants.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Okay, and Ashley?
5'9".
See, here's the thing though. Almost everyone I know is 5'2", 5'3", 5 foot. Then I've got Aunt Julia who's like 5'9" also. So you two are like the same height as my friend Aunt Julia, which is the only female I know that's taller than me other than you two. So like, it's nice to not be the tallest female in the room. It's very rare.
But no, you're if you're an Amazon woman, we are giants.
Hey, take it as a compliment.
Then that truly means I'm going to hide even better when you come after me, Becky. So I'm just letting you know that right off the bat.
I'm waiting
Good luck
for
on that
the
one.
just stay in the
Also,
dark
sir,
room
I
joke.
love you.
I'm sorry,
I love
Becky.
you
What was
here.
that?
I love Sarah, her bubbly personality, and I would protect her.
So, well, we're not hearing Adrian's story though.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need to hear Adrian's story. We just know we're gonna bite him.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
we need to hear his story.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Go ahead.
I don't think she's
Then
getting.
you can bite him.
Yes.
This is so horrible when I finally meet you. Anyhow, no, basically, it's pretty much a tie-in with everyone. I started off as a people pleaser, just like most people do. Growing up with this vernacular, the way I look, the way I carry myself in the poverty-stricken areas of Chicago, I've always spoke like this. So, of course, instantly, I would get the, you don't sound like you look, you shouldn't talk like that, and, you're pretending to be something you're not. So, I would always try to blend in with the group. Then moving down to Florida, gradually became even worse because it's the South. So naturally I had to try to fit in and just be nice to everyone because I was always raised, to always be nice, to always treat people with respect, and just, to overcompensate, because for the way I looked and how I carried myself. So I did that, of course, through the school years, through the high school years, and everything of the sort, and I became an adult and being taken advantage of because I was so nice. The old moniker, nice guys finish last kind of thing, that applied to me for the longest time. And then just one day, I guess I had enough because I went through something personal with a former. And after that, I'm like, no, I think I'm kind of done being nice. Now, I'll be civil, I'll be respectful, but I'm kind of done being nice. And I took the advice of my mom and only had five friends on one hand, and everyone else can kind of go piss up a rope. And not to say that I've lost faith in people, I'm just more protected because it really takes a lot to walk in my castle, to be part of my life, and everything in between. And I'm very quick to cut people off. That's just mainly for self-preservation because everyone you meet has intentions, whether it be good or bad, but everyone has intentions, and everyone is selfish, and everyone looks out for number one. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Any thoughts on that, dear Ashley?
No.
Yes.
I feel like you're calling me out for a reason, though.
No, not because you're staring at your computer or focusing on something else. Just silly little things like that.
Okay, listen, hear me out. There is a reason. There is a reason for this. Because this podcast is going to be ending soon. And I am nowhere near a safe point. So I am trying to get to a safe point so I can save it and quit the game so we can play Dead by Daylight. So in the end, I'm doing this for the intention of friendship.
Even Becky does not believe that. I don't even see her face, and I know she didn't even believe that one.
Actually, no, Becky should believe me because I actually am doing this so we can play Dead by Daylight.
Now, when it comes to Ashley and her saying that we're gonna play Dead by Daylight, and she's good on that. But I think honestly, all of us have the same kind of thing where like we don't believe people do things for good intentions, and I think that's kind of true. Like it's naturally ingrained in us where no matter what we do, we're doing it for ourselves in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You do something nice for somebody. For me, if I'm doing something nice for somebody, it's generally because I want to see that person happy. But their happiness in turn makes me happy. If me doing something good for them makes me miserable, I'm not doing it.
So I have a question with that. a little, think experiment. Say, for instance, you want to help out a local charity or something along those lines. Say, for instance, local homeless shelter. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take up donations and I'm going to go and I'm going to help with after school care and things of that nature. Now, is that altruistic and, doing stuff for the greater good? Or is that doing something to make you feel better for one reason or another?
Doing something to make yourself feel better for one reason or another. Because you can say, well, I'm tired and I'm exhausted, I'm doing it for the kids, I'm doing something for somebody, which in turn gives me a purpose, which in turn makes me feel like I'm needed.
Okay.
It's not on a conscious level most of the time, but it's a subconscious level.
I tend to agree with it, but I also believe that, even though it is giving you that satisfaction of, okay, I did a good thing, I think it's also, a good thing that you're doing and that it is needed in the world. But also, yeah, I agree with you. Like, we do things like that and we want to be altruistic.
I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that's kind of why humans are so interesting, because you do something good for the right reasons, but nobody can ever say that they don't do it for selfish reasons at the same time.
I agree.
Because there's always going to be that little part of you that's selfishly I'm needed, I'm wanted, I'm being useful.
Yes, because we are, a lot of us brought up that if we're not useful, we don't matter. Especially here in the States where everything is based off of work and your job. Your job defines who you are. If you don't have a job, you're a bum. If you don't, go to school, you're a bum. The way that things are society-wise, if you don't have a purpose, then why are you? So, I get that, I get it's something that you need to do for the greater good and things of that nature, but also you get something from it, and it's good to recognize that as well.
Now, do you think we as a society, Ashley, are just naturally selfish people? Do you really think that being selfish people, why do we want to be around people? Why are we married? Why are we in relationships? Why do we have...
Sarah, shush. You had your time. No, you put your hand down.
Put it down.
Put it down.
I have things to say.
Put your hand.
I will wait my turn, but I have things to say.
Okay.
Good girl.
All right.
I'm being a good girl.
Okay.
Shark.
So, straighten my glasses there. So why do we seek these things? It's all out of our own greed. We don't want to be alone. That's how things can, where, you don't get enough in a relationship, people cheat. You want to do more things. You want to experiment. You keep wanting more and more. You want that comfort. You don't want to be lonely. There's people that don't seek romantic relationships, but they want something else. Why? You have friends. We're social creatures, just like other social creatures. We're social creatures to an extent. It's very rare you find someone that absolutely has nobody to talk to, like hermits. And usually then, hermits, they have the wildlife. They have something that's keeping them paced. For having friends, like Becky pointed out, I will buy someone a gift that's perfect for them, that I believe is perfect for them, I know it's going to make them happy. There's two things I'm going to get out of it. Them having all that happiness for what I gave them, that's pride I'm feeling right there. And I'm feeling happy because I made someone else happy, but it fuels my pride. And then I'm also maintaining that relationship because this person benefits me as a friend. Because that's at the end of the day. Becky benefits me as a sister/friend. You both benefit me as friends. But the moment you break my trust, you do something shady, it's like you no longer benefit me as a friend. I have no problem dropping you. That's the thing I've managed to get around and work around, where people like to do second chances and let me give them another chance, or let me try to see their point of view. No, I don't no longer wish to exhaust my own mentality and emotions because someone fucked up, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like oh, I don't want this person to go away, or someone's making me feel bad, and I feel like, no, I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. But going back to why I think people, like, we're social, how we're all selfish, we're literally born selfish and greedy. As babies, all we want is to cry because we're hungry, because we want this, we want that. We are born greedy. We just want everything. There's so many species in the animal kingdom, insect kingdom, all that stuff, that are born and they immediately can survive. They can walk, they can eat, they can hunt. They immediately have all those instincts. Humans, greedy. We can't walk, we can't do anything, we just want. And the majority of our lives is just wanting things. If you look for religious reasons, we want to go to heaven. We don't want to go to hell. I am doing this so I don't go to hell. Everything, in my opinion, has some sense of intent or another. And that's where I mean is I don't believe in the goodness of people. There's people that can do good things, but I don't believe in a good person.
And Becky, you were going to say something?
I wasn't going to say anything. It was Sarah who was going to say something.
Oh man, it goes back to my turn again. Okay,
is it my turn?
As I was saying,
Well, what I was going to comment on, and I'll hand it back, and hopefully we can have a nice little time exchange on this. No, it's just one of my questions that I had because, like I said, I mean, we start off just being greedy and wanting to do things and wanting attention, like you said. But I'm noticing that a lot of us, as time goes on, there's a small minority of us that don't want to be around people, that don't want to be around people anymore. You know,
I was going to say females. What? You're surrounded by them.
literally.
Anyhow, as I was saying, no, I went from wanting to have that acceptance and to be around people, just to have someone around me, because in my mind I was a lonely person and I, deserved to have somebody. But as time went on and I realized my self-worth and value, I don't really want to be around anybody. I really don't need to be around somebody. And so that's one of my questions I had about, whether it's the want versus the need to be around somebody. So anyhow, that's just, once again, these are my opinions as I get older. And of course, will that change? Who knows? But that's just the way the general belief is right now. So I'll hand it over to Sarah because she wanted to say something. So here we go, folks. Buckle in.
Okay, so the reason why, and this is like a science reason, okay? Don't give me that. I will not be that long-winded. I'll try not to be. So it's an actual scientific reason why humans crave connection and why we crave things. So it goes... Huh?
Nothing. Continue.
I crave your nuts? These nuts?
Yes.
You sexy. But you're catching me off guard and distracting me. Because I'm basically a Cocker Spaniel or a dog or something, and I see a squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yep. Yep. No, I honestly call it fishbowl brain because, I'll just be like, huh? Oh. So,
Sure.
Yes. So essentially what it is it's back from our early evolutionary days, like caveman days or even before. So in order to survive, you had to be part of a family unit or a group, okay? So the fear was always being ostracized, and that would mean your death. So evolutionarily, we have evolved to have a group, a unit, that we can be safe around. And in today's day and age, it translates to family/friends. Now, the need for things, yes, you're right. We are born needing things and wanting things. But that is also under the need for things and the greed for things, because status. So way back then, we had to create our own weapons and things that we needed to survive, because we don't naturally have those survival techniques that a lot of animals do. And you have to remember, we are animals. So all we really have going for us are moderately sharp teeth. I imagine they were sharper back then, and our nails. And those are really our only weapons that we have, outside of, like the ability to pick things up and use them, so.
Pick things up and put them down.
Exactly. I pick it up and I put it down. But like the ability to, like you said, pick things up and use them, so caveman people, they need things to survive. They need to create weapons, create bowls, create things for storage, for food, so that they survive the winter. Like it's all back to where we originated from. Like that's why we have these instincts. The more stuff we have, the more likely it is that we're going to survive the winter. So we have...
Winter is coming.
Exactly. Nothing, Jon Snow. But essentially what it is that we still have that instinct to collect things so that we can survive the lean months. And we have this inherent need to connect with other humans because we need to survive. It's why we're able to pack bond with pretty much anything. Like, I don't know if you go on like the internet and you see all those posts about like people naming their Roombas and getting like really, really attached to it and things like that, and thinking it as like a living creature. There was one that I read where a guy's Roomba got like quote unquote startled by the storm, and he picked it up and like pet it, and then it started working right again. Like, we pack bond with anything, and it's evolutionarily back to we need a group to survive. So that's where that comes from. It is literally in our DNA, and that's why we want that. However, in today's day and age, we are evolving to not want to be as much around human beings because we've noticed that humans are dangerous. So this newer generation is slowly but surely evolving into a need to not be around people as much. And that leads to, the ability to do things with your computer, that you can communicate with people and get whatever you need from them through a computer. And eventually it may very well end up where the human race starts declining in numbers, and we end up relying more on computers, AI, things of that nature, and we eventually end up as like a much smaller race, which, as far as the planet is concerned, would be a good thing. But that's what it looks like it's going towards if you look at society and how things are going today with the way people have evolved. So that was the bit that I wanted to say with that. So I kept it to a minimum.
Nice. So no, I agree with all that. I actually remember talking several episodes back with Adrian about human evolution and like some instincts that we have nowadays that carry from our ancestors, like way back. Like, for instance, how the joke is, ooh, shiny. And well, shiny things clearly do attract us. It's hard to, you see something shiny, whether it's a joke or not, it's going to catch your eye.
Probably because fish are shiny.
What was that?
Probably because fish are shiny.
Well, you're close. So from a documentary I watched, like what scientists believe is because, so the sun is high up, and when the sun hits the water looks shiny.
Oh.
So it's like a water source, because back then there's not a whole lot of stuff that shines.
You're right.
And you have the trees, animals, stuff like that. What would be shiny against sunlight, or even moonlight, for that matter?
Yeah. Water.
So looking for a source of water. So that is another. So from what I read, that's something that, is the reason why we are attracted to shiny things, because like, ooh, I'm looking for that. I want shiny. Give me the shiny. So
that's awesome.
One of the many reasons I can't decide what I want to do with my hair. If I want to leave it up or down, it's driving me crazy. So that's why I keep changing my hair. Hold on.
As Ashley adjusts her hair.
She's so pretty.
I know, she's gorgeous. And look at that hair, though. It's so thick and glorious. I wish I could get my hair to look like that. With my color, of course. But, like, I miss having longer hair.
This is not long hair, my guy. This is like medium length hair. I cannot wait till I get my long hair back, but
I
here
think
I
it's the
am.
first time ever in our friendship that my hair's been longer.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
If my hair ever agrees with me to grow long again, I will be the happiest girl on the planet. But I'm still dealing with like BS with my hair, so.
Well, outside podcasts, like I could recommend a shampoo and conditioner that's really helped with my hair.
Yeah, is it color safe?
I believe so. Yeah.
Awesome. Because,
So,
yeah.
because I know
Anyways, shiny?
podcasts. But no, shushy.
You said shiny.
When
Shiny. I'm so shiny.
really, I think of a shiny teeth and me.
That too, but now that I've seen Moana, I'm like wanting to sing that song now, even though I don't know all the words. I'm like, do 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 shiny.
Anyways, we're getting off track. What was that, Ashley?
We're not even on a track anymore. We all talked about the topic Adrian wanted us to talk about, and now here we are.
Yeah,
So-
but like I have dinner waiting for me, so
Well, we're still doing this podcast, so yeah. Well, Adrian did not want to do the podcast recording yesterday, so here we are. You're waiting for dinner, and we're doing this podcast. And how much more time do we have, Adrian? Minimum?
10 minutes.
10?
Approximately 10 minutes.
No, that's ridiculous. We're gonna push this for another 30 minutes. Minimum.
I'm trying to behave here.
You're doing really good, and because you're behaving is why you're gonna get dinner tonight.
Yay!
You have dinner, but you have to behave the rest of the time. If not, I have a ninja somewhere in that building that you're in, waiting to take your food.
Is that ninja named Bex?
No, Becky would be a raccoon. That's a trash ninja.
Yeah. But that giggle, that was
That's
like a
good.
feral,
That's-
like,
That is the ninja we hire when no one else wants to hide in dumpsters. We call Becky. That's what Becky is called. So, I keep looking behind me on my webcam, and I keep seeing my Patrick sticker. It's just
oh my god. That has been my mood for the last few days.
oh yeah. If people want to know, it's basically Patrick from SpongeBob. Already, if I have to explain it, that's from SpongeBob because you didn't understand it. Get off this podcast.
For real.
You're not allowed to listen to it anymore. Unsubscribe right now.
For real.
Go watch all of SpongeBob.
Not all of it, just
It's
some of
all
it
of
so you'll
SpongeBob.
understand.
All of SpongeBob.
I haven't seen all of SpongeBob. I've seen a lot
Get
of
off the
SpongeBob.
podcast.
I've seen
Get
a
off
lot
the
of
podcast.
SpongeBob, but I'm sure that there are episodes that I've missed.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Patrick sitting there with his mouth wide open and his eyes and a 1,000-mile stare off into nothing. It's like he saw Adrian's mom naked.
Hi, Vaughn.
And
Try to not get a boner.
I mean, he's not sitting there with a boner, so he didn't
he's
see
like,
Vaughn.
he's amazed. That's what it is. It's not out of
Okay.
disgust and shock. It's amazement. Because, hello, Vaughn.
If you guys could see Adrian's face right now, all of you in the
It's been a
podcasting
while.
world.
It's been a while since I gave her a shout out, but yeah.
It has.
So it's gonna be my face when I see her in person one day. I'm like, hello, Vaughn, and then she's gonna be like, hello, Ashley, and this is gonna be my face because I'm gonna be so stunned.
You're gonna be so
then we're gonna-
stunned.
And then we're gonna go to Taco Bell afterwards. That's
Yep.
the sticker is it's Taco Bell.
But y'all, for
And
real,
then we
Vaughn
got-
is gorgeous.
And
Like,
then we gotta stay hydrated.
oh my god, is that a little shark? It's so freaking cute.
It's a
It's
shark.
Ashley as a sticker.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And you gotta espresso yourself, so I gotta espresso my feelings
Yes.
towards Vaughn.
Is that boba with ghosts in it down under your finger?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
me. That is so me. I love it.
Yeah. And then a little coffee cup,
It's so
or a
cute.
little teacup,
With a
whatever you
smiley
call it. And then
face.
we're gonna go to Rainbow Springs. That's where you go.
Where is Rainbow Springs?
Rainbow Springs is North Florida, like outside of Gainesville area.
Oh, okay.
So,
Is that one of the ones that has like the grotto? There is a spring, and I got to figure out which one it is, but it's in Florida somewhere, which you would think would narrow that down some, but there's a lot of different springs. But there's one that has like a cave and like a little grotto that you can swim in, and it is gorgeous, and I would love to go. I also want to go to Blue Springs because apparently that's where most of the manatees live.
I live 15 minutes from Blue Springs.
So, one weekend, not right now because funds are short, but one weekend when it gets less than, hot as balls outside, we can meet up and we can go to Blue Springs and see the manatees.
Wait, hold on. Hot as balls is the perfect time to do swimming activities.
But I will melt.
Because it's hot. That's what you're in the water for.
But I'll melt.
You're in the water.
But I'll get sunburnt. I'm clear.
Get in the shade.
You don't understand. I will
I
die.
understand that I need someone to go to the springs with me and I need someone to go to the beach with me because no one wants to go.
Okay, I tell you what. Let's plan a couple weeks out in advance to do either the springs or the beach so I can budget accordingly.
But there's no budget needed. You just drive to my house and then I drive us there.
Valid point, but like...
And I live like a good solid 25, 30 minutes from you.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yes.
it.
Just, how about the weekend of the Wait, am I double booking myself? I gotta check and see if I'm double booking myself. But if not, the weekend of the 14th? Like the 15th?
That's next weekend. So, probably.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah, probably. It all depends. My husband's supposed to be flying out soon. So,
Oh, that's right.
I love how we're making these plans on the podcast.
Oh my God, we're
Really
still on the
figure out
podcast. What the hell?
I'm
so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. This is what happens.
This is content.
This is what happens when you put us together in a room because we all have fishbowl brain, and so that's just what happens. I'm sorry, folks. But just so y'all know, Ashley and I are supposed to go to the beach or to the Springs July 15th. And if we end up doing it, which hopefully we will give you guys an update. And perhaps on my, what is it called? The one that I use. Oh, TikTok or Instagram, we could have little videos of us at the Springs or the beach. Obviously not showing my chunky belly. But
that's up for debate. That's up for debate because Ashley's not wearing makeup and she's.
I
all
never
out
wear
there.
makeup in my TikTok videos.
I'm ready for TikTok to see that.
I have never worn makeup. I think in my TikTok videos, and I don't use a filter. So,
but for me,
look,
so,
honey, you're gorgeous. So
listen. Anyway, for context, people, where this could be very unlikely at the same time because we're a little excited.
We are.
Because for the longest time, for a minimum a year, no, more than a year and a half that we've been friends now, and we have tried getting together to do things, whether it's Ancient Aliens marathons, movies, going out, dinner, anything. It's either Sarah bails or I bail. It doesn't matter the reason. Sometimes they're valid reasons, sometimes it's just who we are as people.
Yeah.
But for a year and a half, we bail on each other last minute.
We do.
Because I make plans when I get excited, and then right when it gets there, it's either I'm still down to go, or I don't want to go anymore. I just want to sit on my couch and play TikTok or watch TikToks.
Yeah, and for me, I will get sick. I get sick easily, or I'll have massive tummy trouble because I ate something that I shouldn't, which is almost everything you could possibly eat. So I don't know. So. And also, I'm also that person that doesn't want to get out of bed and cuddle with my cats all day. So,
here's something. Becky comes down when Becky comes down and she gets to meet you guys after she attacks Adrian, what is something that you would like for her to do or see when she's here?
Ooh, that's difficult. That's difficult.
You can't, if you want to have multiple things, you can, but you can't do more than 3.
My favorite sushi place. I want to take.
I can't eat seafood.
Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. The ice cream place down here. The Merritt Island ice cream. My Island ice cream is literally the best ice cream of all time.
The one next to TJ Maxx?
Yeah.
I love that ice cream place.
It is literally the best.
Yep. Okay. So I agree. Becky can go. We're gonna take Becky to that one.
We
Yeah.
need to take Becky there. Okay, since she can't do seafood, she can't go to my favorite sushi place, which is very disappointing because it is literally the best sushi I've ever had in my fucking life. But
You had to take me there.
oh, I will. You better believe it is so fucking good. Adrian loves that place too. Like, it is so good. But trying to think. So definitely the ice cream place. What are my favorite things about Florida? Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of it. Ashley, you pick something.
Oh, already City Walk.
Yes.
We're taking Becky. I want to take Becky to City Walk.
I'm going to feel like a small child.
Yeah. We're gonna go to City Walk. I want to take Becky to my favorite hot pot place. It's in Alafaya.
Ooh, I want to go.
Yeah, it's real. Oh, we should go. I go there for girls' nights a lot.
Yeah.
There's that. Obviously, the Springs.
Obviously.
Well, no, actually, Becky's coming down here during the winter, and even then, it's still cold.
Yeah, it's
so
still
we
kinda
will not
cold.
be in the Springs.
Karaoke. My karaoke bar.
No,
No.
No, why not?
I don't do drunk people.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. It's a very small bar, and there's very few people there ever. And I know the owner, and I know the DJ, and, like, it's a very, very small, it's a hookah bar, so you can smoke hookah, and it's so small, it's, like, the size of the room that I'm in, and, like, it's just got benches along the walls, and then there's people around the bar, but almost never is there a super drunk person, because most people go there for hookah.
Yeah, I am a hookah person, so you got me sold on that.
Yeah, so you don't even have to sing if you don't want to, but it is a fun time.
If somebody comes up to me and they're drunk, I'm going to punch them in the balls, just saying.
The only person that I've ever encountered like that is a guy that doesn't come there anymore, but he would be there every karaoke night with us, me and my friends, and he would sing a couple times, try to dance with somebody, and then he'd leave. So if he were there, I would keep him away from you anyway. But he's the only person I've ever seen get, like, drunk there, because most of their drinks are, like, wine-based drinks. They don't have, like, hard liquor for the most part. They do have a little bit of hard liquor. Like, they've got some vodka, and I think they've got some whiskey, I think. But I don't normally get drinks there. I usually just drink water.
Actually.
You lost me.
She's gone.
Yeah, I know. But they've got hookah.
If they have vodka and hookah, you can get me there. You
Yeah.
can get me there.
They do have
Right.
some vodka drinks now.
But I also have hookah at my house.
That's very true. You do have a hookah at your house. So
Super.
we are on the fence about the karaoke place.
It is on the fence. I'm trying to think what else, because there's a lot of really fun things to do.
Actually, let's just face it, it's going to rain, because every time we make plans, it rains.
No,
And I'm
coming
gonna
in
tell you-
February. If you're coming in February, it doesn't really rain. If you're in that
No,
time.
not really. No.
It's the summer.
Okay. Because, like, I was just saying, like, the plans would probably be us hanging out at your place, playing video games, and watching movies, and I'm snuggling with the dogs.
That sounds amazing, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take you to Top Golf.
We could do or if you don't want to do Top Golf, there is a place that's like a mini golf with a restaurant not far from where I work. It's over there in Waterford Lakes.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if I do mini golf, it's gonna be the City Walk mini golf that I want to take Becky to.
I have never done that one.
Oh my God, I have done both of those courses so many times, and it's fun to do drunk mini golf.
Oh my
might
God,
I say.
yes. So we're going to
Especially at
need
Universal.
Adrian to come with us so that he can be designated driver so we can all get stupid drunk and play mini golf.
Oh, that's already the plan. He just didn't know that yet.
That's true.
Let
So
me lay down.
There's 2 assigned designated drivers during Becky's stay. Adrian or Hazen.
oh, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just don't
forgot
let me lay
Hazen.
down if you get drunk.
Yeah,
So-
you'll be out like a light. Becky snores.
That's okay. So do I. Who doesn't snore?
No, but like, there's a difference between me just sleeping snoring and drunk snoring.
Like,
Yeah. I have witnessed this.
oh, that's hilarious.
All within a span of like under 10 minutes when I visited Becky last.
We need to do a drunk
I
podcast.
had a bottle of wine.
Chugged an $8 bottle of wine
Oh my god.
and was in a giggling fit and then knocked out snoring, and this all happened within 10 minutes.
And my cat punched me in the face.
Yeah.
So we need to do a drunk podcast because see, I don't
No.
get drunk. I don't typically get drunk. I've only been truly drunk twice that I can think of. I get super tipsy and I get like borderline super drunk, but I don't get like stupid blackout drunk, but twice.
So, we've done a drunk podcast.
We
did it in
have.
2 parts. It's Ashley's birthday. And
I
people
know.
should go back and listen to that.
I know, but what I'm
because
saying
it's wild.
is we need one with Becky because she wasn't present.
We need a Carson Hits Humanity live stream podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely do that.
that's
We
very
definitely do
true.
that.
We
I
do
have
need
a
that.
bunch of parts of it. Oh, look, who finally returned is Adrian, who has been out of frame out of this podcast episode. So when I say, hey, maybe I don't take the reins and I don't participate much in this so I can play my video game that I just started playing yesterday and I love it. No, I am needed. But Adrian can be AWOL like 90% of the episode.
It's 'cause
While
I
we
took over.
talk here conversating like we're not still recording a podcast, and like the last 15 minutes just making plans where people are listening. They're like, what the fuck?
It's
This is
because I
not
took
even off the
over.
rails. It's not off the rails random weird shit. It's off the rails. We completely forgot we're on a podcast and we're just talking like, yeah, we're getting coffee on Tuesday.
So how about this? We'll wrap this one up, but giggity. But next podcast, how about we talk about, because I know we all have interest. Well, next podcast that I'm with you guys, we all have interest in cryptids and like folklore, folklore and things like that. Can we talk about that kind of stuff? Because the 3 of us can talk about that for hours.
So yes, we should write that down. But another thing that we have not done in a very long time, Conspiracies Part 3.
Yes!
Conspiracies Part 3.
Yes!
Becky, obviously you were not part of Conspiracies Part 1 and 2, but basically it's an episode where it's been Sarah and I, with the other 2. It's basically we're talking about conspiracy theories. Going from really, really silly ones to ones that have actually been proven true, ones that we, like basically how the last episode we were talking about the Megalodon. And that's technically conspiracy theory. I wouldn't call it conspiracy theory, but it's still a theory that is all the time said it's not true, but we stand by it's like, that's totally true. So it's just a big, huge, like, wall of just conspiracies that we're talking about. And there's no real rules to it. It's just we're talking about them and going discussions. In the last 2 episodes, we actually had really interesting ones we talked about. So we're going to do Conspiracies Part 3 here in the near future.
I'm so excited.
But usually I'll give it like within a week before we do the recording so we all have time to do our research on what we want to talk about. And we can also do a quick, like, and before we do the podcast, well, because there's going to be more than just Sarah and I this time, it's going to kind of go over, not go in detail, but what conspiracy theories we want to talk about. So we make sure no one's like taking each other's.
I already have one. I already have one.
Shush. You wait.
I will wait.
We will not talk about it now. People are going to wait.
I'm going to be
They're
a good
not gonna
girl,
know.
and I'm going to wait. But
Okay.
I have a good one. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited right now. Adrian's rolling his eyes audibly.
And Adrian's always rolling his eyes. The fact that his eyes have not been stuck in the back of his head at this point
Or just falling out.
surprises me. No. Actually, I think his eyes are stuck in the back of his head. He just has used Sharpie to color in his eyeballs.
One more thing that we have not done in a while is Pick the Porn. Sir, when are we going to have more content for Pick the Porn?
When I have a chance to say something. So anyhow, where can they find you, Ashley, if they want to get in contact with you?
You can find me as Ash Majestics on Instagram.
And our dear Bex, where can they find you if they want to see some of your stuff?
They can watch some of my streams on Rainbow Cupcake 95 on Twitch, or they can look me up at Rainbow Cupcake 95, Rainbow Cupcake 666 on YouTube.
And Ms. Bradley, where can they find you if they want to converse with you?
Well, obviously they can find me here. But I am also on TikTok. It's been my new boredom thing. It is Cerberus Magic on TikTok. Blah, 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 TikTok. So you guys can find me there.
And of course, as the show comes to a close, of course, we can't end it without you know who doing you know what.
Yeah.
And we're all waiting with anticipation.
In such a hurry to close out this show, aren't we? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
I'm afraid.
Are you ready? Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thank you. Someone got it. All right. What did the Indian kid say to his mother when he left for school?
What?
What?
Mumbai.
What? Oh.
Good night. Good night.